If we were supposed to meet in the park tomorrow at say 3 o'clock, yeah, and then I came an hour late, and then you said, why are you late? And I go, oh, because I was waiting for, you know, the metals in my car to come together and the plastics and the fabrics to come and, you know, organize themselves in such a way, and the petrol to come. You would look at me, how would you look at me if I gave you that as an explanation?
Smile2Jannah. It depends. If that's how you normally talk, I'd say, well, he's just been his old self.
No, that's me giving you an explanation of why I'm late, of why my car wasn't ready because of the changes didn't take place. Then those changes took place and I was able to come self-drive, even though it wasn't a Tesla, and it came. Any reasonable person, Marco, in that conversation would go, are you, like you said, are you winding me up? Like, is this a spoof? Is this a parody? Is this a satirical answer? I'll say no. And the reason why you would go to that conclusion is you would say because it's not feasible for such things, such design to happen by itself. Similarly, if you went and you had a child and you went into your kitchen and your child, there's a series of steps there, there's a cookie jar and your child has a cookie in their hand and they're coming down the steps and the cookie jar's there, and you ask the child, what are you doing? And they said, oh, the wood came by itself and made the stairs. And then, because when those two things happen, naturally you assume, based upon your observation, based upon logic, based upon your understanding, you don't even entertain the other idea. Yeah, what you do is something which science uses as well. It's called the inference to the best explanation. Yeah, the inference to the best explanation first was that that person is just making an excuse. They don't want to tell you the real reason that they're late, and it's just waffle. Second reason was your child did climb up the stairs, did get the cookie from the cookie jar, even though you told your child not to. And the point that I'm trying to say, Marco, is if you start opening yourself to such possibilities that things can just happen by themselves, following no structure, no design, your life will be an absurdity. You are not following what you do in your daily life, which is you infer things to the best possibility, to the best probability. That's the only way you have survived here, and you will continue surviving. If you start crossing the road assuming that cars will just, you know, become smoke and they start floating, you don't entertain that thought in the slightest, because you believe in design, you believe in order, you believe in creation, and all we're saying is, look, you believe in that stuff in every facet of your life, Marco.
Why not?
Yeah, you
why
do.
Stop short?
And all we're saying is that if you then extrapolate that to creation, it is the inference to the best explanation that there was a creator, as opposed to things haphazardly coming into existence as if, you know, there being aliens or there being this. This seems the best inference to the best explanation. And then when you acknowledge this, then we can then take this further as to into scripture, into, okay, you talk about prophets, you talk about this, and then there is a scaffolding of evidence, and then you come up with a bigger picture. Yes, in some things it may be a bit difficult for you to know. That's why there is an accumulation of evidence, and that's all we're saying, Marco, that look, when it comes to everything else, you're being unjust here. You don't believe things come from nothing, because you don't sit down. If your bank account is empty, it's going to remain empty until you work and you put money inside it. If no one has a cue and no one's hitting the pool balls, the balls are not going to move. You guys can't stand around with a pint of lager in your hand and just assume that things will happen. It doesn't work like that. Then why is it that you extrapolate that to the universe and expect, yeah, it just happened?